So this is unfortunately the real kind of expectation and the realistic kind of view of Xbox. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like a lot of people I know are going to probably have different thoughts about this, and I completely understand it. But to me, this is the future of Xbox. This is what you can expect from Xbox, and I find it to be quite unfortunate. I'm sure probably some of you will as well. I kind of look at these things and I say to myself, it is a bit of a shame that this happened, and it'll probably happen even more in the future. So, and I also know that there's going to be damage control around it because I've already seen it. When it comes to Xbox and games getting canceled from third parties or third parties skipping Xbox, and as someone who I was playing this game Dispatch on PlayStation on my PS5 Pro, and it's phenomenal, right? And I was like, man, and this game isn't on Xbox. Like, to me, I only started playing Dispatch this year, and I beat it, and I actually beat it a couple times. But if I would have played it last year, it would have been my game of the year, And so, it's the best game that I played in years, honestly. And so, yeah, it's pretty phenomenal to see the way that these things kind of come out and work out. But having games get canceled for a platform is never a good thing. So 1348X Vodo launches in March for PS5 and PC. Xbox Series versions canceled. It's a 14th century Italy action adventure game. So yeah, the game will launch for PS5 and PC in March. And the publisher and developer announced a deluxe edition, etc., etc. But the Xbox version has been canceled, quote, in order to focus the studio's effort on delivering the best experience possible for PC and PlayStation. So, again, the reason why this should worry you if you're an Xbox fan is because a lot of mid-sized developers, small developers, could be doing this in the future because it wouldn't make sense to support Xbox. And Microsoft has a lot of money, so you might not see any huge developers do it, but they also might not put their biggest effort into Xbox versions as well, which would be equally kind of as unfortunate. And I know probably some of you would probably think the same way as I am with this, but yeah, it's not exactly a great situation. Again, so they're talking about their game. It says, everything in our story is personal. It's about moralities, ambitions, and choices. Who we aspire to be and who we are allowed to become, whether that means our fight for it or against to justify our end. We hope those themes will resonate with players. They were talking about the game. A newly founded studio, Sedlio, an Italian team, created a team of international AAA veterans to give life to their own stories in high-quality games. As an Italian team, Italy was an obvious choice, as they wish to create lifelike environments. They spent a lot of time in the rural parts of the peninsula to explore landscapes and everything they needed to design accurate and plausible worlds to tell the story they wanted. They came to the choice of the year 1348, which represents a dire year in Italy, because following the spread of diseases and pestilence across the country, instability had taken a turn for the worse in the already fragile medieval society. Population faced increased violence and criminality, braved the harsh realities of the Italian late medieval period. So yeah, it sounds like it's a pretty interesting game, like a medieval type game. And again, and it's not even so much that it's this type of game or that type of game. It's the fact that we have a situation where we're seeing a game that is not coming to Xbox, and it's not coming to Xbox because they're wanting to make the PlayStation 5 version, and they're trying to make the and the PC version. So this is something that could be a bit of an ongoing theme for Microsoft or for developers when it comes to Xbox. And we see some of this happen all the time, and it's not just like a Series S problem or something along those lines. I really do think that we could be seeing sort of a situation where we kind of look at Xbox and say, hey, they're kind of a lame duck. Like right now, they really do feel a little bit like a lame duck type situation where gamers are kind of the last kind of thought process, like, and I don't want that to be the thing, like it just feels kind of shitty as an Xbox fan that I'm an Xbox owner. There's multiple the new consoles in the house, and that I'm kind of the last thought process in for Microsoft. So that's kind of a bit of a weird situation to be in, but I do hope that we see something where something happens. And I know some people might go, oh well, in the future it's just going to be a PC anyway, so we'll be able to play it there. But if you read it, it's like it's coming to Steam, not Windows, and it's coming to Epic Game Store, and you could go, oh, we'll be able to get these other stores or whatever. And again, that's true, but that's just a PC anyway. That's not a console. And also the other problem is like if you're somebody who likes the Xbox quote unquote ecosystem, including like their achievement system and stuff like that, you're not going to get Xbox achievements on these games. It's like you're just playing a PC at that particular point. So it is sort of strange to me the way so many people just kind of cover and make these excuses for Xbox. Like as a fan of Xbox, it is a little bit shocking to see, honestly. But again, everybody probably feels differently and thinks differently than other people, and so I hope that we can kind of at least agree that this is not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I just honestly, that's just what's going to happen. I hope that something happens and that something kind of changes, and I don't know. It just really feels like Microsoft doesn't care. And we'll see. We'll see how this kind of works, and how how gamers kind of respond to this. But right now it is a little bit kind of a shame that this is kind of happening, that you have to even worry about game skipping Xbox right now anyway. It's like, by default, doesn't that make Xbox even a worse platform? Because PlayStation gets PlayStation exclusives, they get timed exclusives, they get third-party exclusives, they get all the Xbox exclusives, and they even get third-party games from developers that aren't going to bother with Xbox. So that makes Xbox look even less appealing. So I don't know, it's such a strange situation to me, the way that all these kind of things kind of are happening. And I do hope that in the future we see something happen that realistically makes gamers excited again about Xbox. It's like, it's such a strange kind of moment that we're in, and it almost doesn't feel real. It's like we have this big showcase, and that showcase would have been the talk of the town years ago if those would have been exclusive games, right? Oh my gosh, did you see that? There's it's all this stuff, Fable looks so great, it's the Sony killer, and now it's like, it's so crazy to me that this stuff is happening the way that it is. So, I hope that things can kind of come out of this and change, and and maybe I don't even know what Microsoft can do, at this point to kind of change things for Xbox. But it is strange. It is strange, but I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. At the end of the day, like I said, it's weird, but there's going to be people that are going to go, well, I don't want that game anyway. And then I'm like, are you going to say that to every game? Because stuff like Dispatch, which is already announced to be coming to like the Switch and stuff, that's a great game. You guys are just like cheering on the fact that you're not getting games. That is such a weird thing to me. So yeah, it is kind of such a strange situation overall. But anyway, let me know certainly how you guys feel about this. I know probably some of you are going to be like, well, who cares about this game? But it's like, are you going to say that every game? Like, why not? If you're an Xbox fan, at least admit that it's kind of crappy that games are skipping your platform, and that it could potentially be a big problem in the future, right? Like that's something that I think people probably have to come to realize as well. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I certainly appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up. Crap Gamer 'em up. As always, I'll catch you here next time. Crap Gamer out.